What I'm about to break down with you tonight is exactly the kind of scenario that proves whether the Chicago Bears are finally ready to act like a serious, modern franchise or stay stuck in the old script. This is Bears News Fan Report. I'm with you like always, talking straight, and in this video, I'm going to connect 3 points with zero fluff. Where this defense actually stands in its rebuild, why there's still a missing piece in our pass rush identity, and how the name Shamar Stewart fits into a very real, very logical path that could change how offense is prepared for the Chicago Bears without blowing up everything we've built. I'll walk you through who he is beyond the headlines, the tools, the context, how he could fit next to Montez Sweat, what kind of price makes sense, and what message a move like this would send to the locker room and the league. I want you with me until the end, because this is not about dropping a random prospect into a title to get clicks. This is about looking at timing, roster construction, and upside with the eye of a team that expects to play real football in January. Right now, you feel it. This team isn't a joke anymore. With Caleb Williams under center, structure on offense, Montez Sweat as a real edge anchor, a front office that has corrected a lot of its worst habits, and a locker room with a different standard, the Bears finally have a foundation that deserves ambition. But if we drop the sentiment and talk ball, there's still a gap everyone sees. We're one more real edge away from turning this defense from competitive into we close the game on defense. In today's NFL, you don't survive with one closer. You need layers. You need multiple guys who can attack protections, punish bad lines, and force offensive coordinators to throw away chunks of their game plan. And that's where Shamar Stewart becomes more than a name. Stewart arrived in the league with that prototype frame and juice coaches dream about. Length, explosion, the ability to win outside, convert speed to power, threaten the edge in a way you just can't fake. A real first-step guy. The thing is, like a lot of young pass rushers thrown into messy situations, he's lived in that gray area between traits and production. You see flashes, occasional disruption, pressures that don't always show in the basic numbers, but not yet that week-to-week terror people expected when his name was called. That's not automatically a red flag. That's what happens when development, role, and expectations aren't perfectly aligned. And that's exactly the type of situation smart front offices sniff around when they're building something. When I look at the Bears today, I see a team that is finally positioned to take that kind of calculated swing. You're no longer asking a kid like that to walk in and save a broken unit. You're asking him to join a structure that already has defined leaders, a system that can put him in a real role, and a culture that can demand the right habits every day. You line up Montez Sweat on one side setting the edge, you've got an improving interior rotation capable of collapsing the pocket, and behind them a defense that's no longer totally lost in coverage. Drop Shamar Stewart into that equation and suddenly, he's not your only hope. He's your stress multiplier. The guy that stops offenses from sliding everything at Sweat. The guy who punishes single matchups on 3rd and long. The guy who forces coordinators to think twice before calling deep developing concepts against us. Schematically, the fit is straightforward. Stewart's best version is not playing cute in space. It's attacking vertically. You put him in wide alignments, let him explode upfield, bend the corner, use that length to finish. You give him stunts with interior alignment to free his angle. On early downs, you coach discipline. Set the edge, keep contained, squeeze the lane. On passing downs, you let him be what he was drafted to be, a hunter. In this Bears defense, under this staff, that's a defined lane, not theory. You can envision clear packages, Sweat to one side, Stewart wide on the other, simulated pressures behind them, and quarterbacks having to get the ball out a half second sooner than they want to. That half second is turnovers. That half second is wins. But all of this only matters if the structure around the move is right. A Shamar Stewart swing has to match the philosophy Ryan Poles has shown when he's at his best. No panic, no paying star prices for unfinished products, no sacrificing premium future capital just to win a press conference. The only way this makes sense is if the price lives in that sweet spot where you'd normally be using a pick on a maybe one-day edge anyway. In that lane, flipping a pick for a 22, 23-year-old with verified traits, NFL reps, and room to grow in your scheme stops being fantasy and starts being smart asset management. You'd be buying cheap on potential, not paying top dollar for decline. And the message that hits Halas Hall was powerful. This team is not satisfied with being better. It is actively building a front that people fear. There's also the human side I can't ignore. Shamar's already walked through the full cycle. Hyped prospect, heavy expectations, scrutiny when the sack total doesn't match the scouting report overnight. That experience, if his mindset is right, creates an edge. Bring that into a Bears locker room that's being rebuilt on accountability, effort, and clarity, and you might unlock something his current context never did. You sit him down and make it simple. You're not here to be a logo. You're here to hit, to win one-on-ones, to finish plays. Chicago is a city that still knows how to love a real defense. If you bring the work, they will give you the energy. For a young rusher, that combination of stage and demand can be exactly what turns flashes into a season. Put yourself in the picture for a second. Late in the year, offenses put you ahead, Crow is on its feet, and the other team needs to throw. Sweat to the left, Stewart to the right, interior pushing, coverage holding long enough, crowd on its feet because everybody in that stadium already knows what's coming before the ball is even snapped. This game is ending with your defense closing the door, not hoping your offense bails you out one more time. That's how you flip the script from nice young roster, maybe they're coming, to this is a Chicago Bears team you don't want to see in December or January. That's the step from interesting Project Bears to we're actually here Bears, the version of this franchise we've been begging to see for years. Physical, fast, intentional, with multiple closers instead of one lonely star asked to do everything. And that's exactly why you want you with me in this process, because this channel is built with you, not above you, and moves like this define identity more than any press conference quote. Tell me in the comments, honestly and without that old complex, if the cost sits in that reasonable band, not your premium first, not dismantling the core, but a smart price for upside. Are you in on a move for Shamar Stewart as the next big piece of this front, or do you sit tight and trust what's already in the building to grow into that role? Do you see his profile, his age, his traits, his opportunity window is worth aligning with where we are in this timeline, with Caleb on a trajectory, Sweat locked in, a locker room finally wired the right way? Or do you think the focus should be somewhere else entirely? Maybe another corner, another interior piece, another offensive weapon. Imagine you're in that room at Hallis Hall when the phone rings. The offer is on the table. The tape and the interviews are sitting in front of you. What do you push for? Because from my side, after weighing the profile, the flashes on film, the premium of the edge position, the Bears' current structure, and what it actually takes to win in this league where games are decided by who hits the quarterback last, my view is direct, and I'm not going to dress it up. This is exactly the kind of target a serious Chicago Bears organization should be ready to pounce on if the boxes check out. Not a reckless all-in that smells of desperation, not a lazy headline move to calm social media, but a focused, high-upside bet at a premium spot that aligns perfectly with our declared identity. Physical, violent, aggressive, built through the trenches, and unafraid to add one more problem for offenses to solve. You secure your quarterback, now you keep stacking dudes who hunt theirs. You turn 3rd and 8 into a known nightmare, not a coin flip. If the medicals, the character, the effort, and the price line up, I make that move today because that's how you stop reacting to the league and start forcing the league to react to you. And if you want every potential move, every rumor with real logic behind it, every breakdown like this tratado con respecto a su inteligencia de torcedor, without noise and without theater, you stay here with me on Bears News Fan Report. Subscribe, turn on notifications, drop your like, share this with that diehard Bears fan who lives for pass rush talk and remembers what a dominant Chicago front feels like. And let's keep building una comunidad que entiende el juego, that demands the right kind of aggression from this franchise. Now it's your turn. Shamar Stewart in navy and orange, lined up opposite Montez Sweat as the next edge to terrorize quarterbacks for Chicago. Would you pull that trigger or not if this really is the new Bears era we say we want?